chemical reaction. I have to welcome you people to my page. This page will be discussing topics in chemistry. We'll be dealing with various topics in high school chemistry. So my name is Ken, and I am your favorite teacher in chemistry. So I we are going to be dealing with a topic in chemistry. That topic is called chemical reaction. The topic is called chemical reaction. So we'll be dealing with this topic. Inside my profile, you'll be getting a lot of. I promise you, people, I'll be flooding my profile with a lot of relevant topics in chemistry, and where students who are preparing for different exams like WAEC, NICO, GCE, JAM will be getting a lot of resources. So my profile is going to be a resource profile, and you can equally join my page. The name of my page is UG Chemicals, UG Chemical Sciences. So you can also follow and like the page UG Chemical Sciences. So that's my page. So the name of the page is UG Chemical Sciences. So you can follow. You can equally follow me and on this my profile as well, whereby you'll be getting a lot of relevant topics in chemistry. And also, I urge you people to submit. If you want me to do a video for you in a particular topic, you can submit that topic to me via my email, via my box, or via any comment section, anywhere I can lay my hands on your video request. However, this particular topic was requested by somebody to make a video on this particular topic for him. He requested that we should make a video on balancing redox equation. That topic has been giving him serious tough time to understand, and that topic is not a big deal to do, but I have my own rules of making video. As a professional teacher that I am, I don't just dabble into any topic and start making video on that. So I will have to first of all make an introductory aspect of the class, so that of the topic, so that the student will understand what I'm talking about. So you can also contact me if you need any clarification on any topic at all. If you need any clarification on any topic. So how this is going to run, we are going to be having question and answer sections. So you have a question, you can send it across to me for me to work on that. I will equally make a video of that question to educate you and others who might be finding the same question or the same topic difficult. Lastly, we'll be doing some exercises. If I finish a particular topic, I will furnish or flood the session with big exercises that whereby the students can use those things to practice. So that you will practice with the topics, with the stuff I am giving out, so that you will be able to understand the nitty-gritty of that particular topic. I promise you guys that I will give out my best. I'll give you my best, so that you'll understand this subject called chemistry. Chemistry is not a difficult thing, and having taught chemistry for more than 16 years, I think I am in a very good position to impact the knowledge in chemistry. Anyway, introduction again. My name is Ken. I'm your favorite chemistry teacher. BSc Biochemistry, MSc Biochemistry, and PhD Analytical Chemistry. So I think I have what it takes to take any student in this topic. So sit down, get your pen, get your paper, get your calculators, and watch out for the vibes of the class. I wish you good understanding of the subject I'm taking you on. I am free to be contacted. You can ask me a question anytime you want, and I will answer your question. All right. Now, we are going to start by looking at, first of all, we're going to start by looking at types of chemical reaction. we're going to start by looking at types of chemical reaction, so that we will fully understand what we are going to be doing. And I will be giving you people the subheadings or the subtopics we're going to be we're going to look at. For the types of chemical reaction, we'll be looking at for chemical reaction, we'll be looking at types of chemical reaction, types of chemical reaction. We're looking at types of chemical reaction. So let me clean this, and I believe you've already seen that you should like, follow, and share this page, UG Chemical Sciences. So you can follow it up and get some information and resources for your exams and your knowledge as well. So, types of chemical reaction. We're going to be dealing with various types of chemical reaction. We're dealing with various types of chemical reaction, and these include these include combination reaction. We'll be looking at combination reaction, or what we call synthesis reaction. Combination, or what we call synthesis reaction. The second type of chemical reaction we'll be discussing here will be displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. We will equally be looking at decomposition reaction. We'll be looking at decomposition reaction. We will also look at double decomposition reaction. We're looking at double decomposition. We will also look at thermal dissociation. We'll look at thermal dissociation reaction. We are going to be discussing as well this double decomposition reaction could equally be called metathesis reaction. Then we're going to be looking at neutralization reaction. We'll be looking at neutralization reaction. We will have also catalytic reaction. We'll have catalytic reaction. Then finally, I think we'll have redox reaction. That is where we will trash the questions the guy asked. Redox reaction. We'll be looking at redox reaction. So these are the different types of chemical reaction. I don't know if they are complete. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, these are the different types of chemical reaction. So by the end of this class, you should be able to, our objectives, by the end of this class, you should be able to, 1, define different types of chemical reaction. So define different types of chemical reaction. 2, you should be able to give examples of various types of chemical reaction. Then 3, you should be able to identify them. Identify these chemical reactions. Then 4, you should be able to write chemical equation, write chemical equation or explain with equations each type of chemical reaction. Okay, before we proceed or we progress to the next step, what exactly is a chemical reaction? What is a chemical reaction? What is a chemical reaction? What is a chemical reaction? It's a very simple thing. It's something very common that we've been hearing virtually all the time. Define the term chemical reaction. What is a chemical reaction? A chemical reaction A chemical reaction could be defined as the interactions which could be these interactions could be association, it could be association or dissociation or deassociation. Should I call it dissociation or deassociation? Yeah, it could be dissociation or deassociation. Could be dissociation or deassociation of electrons. Association of deassociation of electrons. In an atom. So the interaction between electrons of various atoms, please, let's make use of it that way. Interactions between electrons of various atoms. Between electrons of various atoms of elements. This interaction could be the interaction could be both between identical elements or unidentical elements. That means they are the same. So, for example, when there is an interaction between chlorine, the electrons in chlorine, when electrons in chlorine, that is two chlorine atoms interact. So when they bind or when they combine, this is a form of interaction. When they combine, they can give a product called chlorine molecules. So the result of these starting molecules, the starting molecules are called reactants. That means the starting molecules, that's the molecules that are reacting are called reactants. These are called reactants. These are called reactants. So then the end point or the end point or the output of it is called product. These are called reactants. The two chlorine atoms that whose electrons are combining, that they are associating, are called reactants. So, but the outcome of that, uh, the outcome of that reaction is called product. So, in a chemical reaction, we have the reactants at the right hand side. So, reactants we are going to react, they are going to play their roles and to give rise to product. This is what we mean by chemical reaction. So, in a nutshell, chemical reaction is an interaction between electrons of various atoms of elements. So, these elements are called the elements whose atoms are interacting are called reactants. So they interact to give rise to what? To product. So reactants give rise to product in a chemical reaction. So that is what we mean by the word chemical reaction. So how these um, atoms react, how these atoms react is what we are going to explain in different types of chemical reaction. So, how these atoms react is what we are going to explain in different types of chemical reaction. The atoms react differently to give different products. Atoms react differently to give different products. So, in all these, the atoms could combine, they could dissociate, they could exchange. So these things are the what give rise to different types of chemical reaction, and we will be covering each and every one of those types of chemical reaction. So the first type of chemical reaction we will look at is will be the first type of chemical reaction we'll be looking at will be um, the first type will be we'll be looking at combination or synthesis reaction. So let us take a look at this. Let's take a look at this combination or synthesis reaction. So let us start with that. When we have combination, when we say combination reaction, that is the first one. When you say combination or synthesis reaction, combination or synthesis reaction. So what do you mean by that? It's a very simple thing. It is a very simple thing. The definition is very simple. Combination or synthesis. So combination reaction is joining or combination, still the same way the name appears. Joining or combination of molecules, that is of two or more species. Let's use species. Two or more species. Two or more reactants. Two or more reactants to give rise to one product. Combination of two or more reactants to give rise to one product. So that is how you will know that this reaction is a combination reaction. How you will know it when you see reactant A, combining with reactant B, reactant A combining with reactant B to give us AB. So as you can see, this one is reactant 1, this one is the second reactant, and we already have one product. reactant 1 and reactant 2. We already have a product on its own. So as you can see, A plus B combine to give rise to reactant. This is normally seen in our everyday life. For example, your mother and your father came together to give rise to you, which is the offspring. This is a combination reaction. So the two reactants, reactant 1 and reactant 2, to give rise to a baby. So this whole thing is a combination reaction. This whole thing is a combination reaction. And combination reaction, forms of combination reaction, forms of combination reaction. There are different forms of combination reaction. There are different forms of combination reaction. What are these forms of combination reaction? We have one element to element, element plus element combination, element plus element to give rise to compounds, element plus element to give rise to a compound. In this case, we have something like sodium. Sodium is an element reacting with chlorine. This cannot be a typical example of this. Now, let us see. Another example could be sodium plus sulfur. Both of them are elements. Sodium plus sulfur to give rise to sodium sulfide. So in this case, we put 2 here to balance the chemical equation. Sodium plus sulfur to give rise to sodium sulfide. You can see that these two are elements and they give rise to compounds. We can equally have calcium plus, let's say, calcium plus sulfur still to give us what's it called? To give us calcium sulfide as well. So these are elements plus elements to give rise to a compound. As you can see, there are 2 or more elements here that combined to give rise to one compound. Now, the second form of it is we can have compound plus elements. Compounds plus elements to give rise to a larger compound. To give rise to a larger compound. For example, when you have chlorine molecule, which is a compound, because the compound comprises of 2 or more different elements. So, which is a compound? I said compound comprises of 2 or more different elements. Take note of that. So, chlorine molecule plus sodium. Sodium here is an element. So, we can have it as sodium chloride. So, we already have a compound called sodium chloride. So, in this case, now we can have calcium plus hydrogen gas to give us calcium hydride. Calcium plus hydrogen gas to give us calcium hydride. To give rise to calcium hydride. So this is one other this is one example of when you combine 2 or more different elements with a compound. Then we can also have number 3, the third one. We have compound plus compound. Compound plus compound to give us a giant compound or a polymer, to give us a giant compound. This is always found in organic reaction, where you talk about polymerization reaction. And a typical example is polymerization reaction, whereby you can have 2 or more ethene molecules. Let's say, for example, this is ethene. For example, this is ethene. This is ethene molecule. So we can have like 2 ethene molecules coming together to give us a polymer, which is a ethene polymer. That is what we call polyethene. In this case, we have polyethene. So this is polyethene. So this is an example of a compound combining together to give us a bigger compound, a giant molecule. So we are going to wrap it up here for today, and by tomorrow, the next video we're going to do will continue to explain different types of chemical reaction with their examples. Now, some really we have already defined chemical reaction. We say that a chemical reaction is could be defined as interaction between electrons of various atoms of elements, so to give rise to a product. So the atoms interacting are called reactants, while the outcome is the product. So then we have already explained the example, the definition of a combination reaction. We say it is either joining or combining two or more reactants to give rise to a product. And I said that you can easily identify these things by knowing the reactants and the product. So for combination reaction, like I said, is when two or more atoms combine to give rise to one molecule or to one compound. So one compound, that is called combination reaction. Then we have different forms of combination reaction. We have elements and elements combining together. We have compound and elements combining together to form a larger compound. Then we also have compound and compound combining together to form a bigger compound. And another type of example we can use to explain this compound and compound, like in inorganic reaction for compound plus compound in inorganic reaction. I think one other example to give us a bigger compound, one other example could be, let's say, PbO plus SO, I think, plus SO2, if I'm not mistaken. We can have PbSO4. Is that correct? No, this should be PbO plus SO3 to give us PbSO4. So this one here is a giant molecule, is bigger than this particular one. So the product formed, so you can see that both of them are compounds coming together to form a bigger compound. So we will continue this topic in our next video as we wrap it up here. Don't forget to like, follow and share my page, and also this particular profile, this one, UG Chemicals. So we can UG Chemical Sciences. We can have this as my page, UG Chemical Sciences. Please follow and like it. Thank you very much. We are going to end it here, so that please watch out for the next video coming from me. Watch out for the next video